You are listening to the Primetime Podcast with your hosts, Bryant Chisel and Jake Jorgensen. Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the final 2023 season rewind. We have with us myself and Jake, and of course, first place champion of the league, Nick.
Thank you. That's three-time champ, by the way.
Three-time champ.
Yeah,
Oh,
congratulations.
Thank
We
you.
should have figured out how, that's got to be up there. You think anybody has more than 3?
I don't think anybody does. I had one. I think Hoffy had 2. Jake, I think
I
you
have at
2.
least 2. There's a chance.
If anybody
I
has
have
3,
but I
it's
think I have
you.
2. Yeah, I think I might only have. I don't know.
I'll do
Got 2 or
some.
3.
I'll do some side research. But yeah, it's
Either way, congratulations on the 3rd championship. That's
Thank
definitely,
you.
definitely one of the best for sure.
So we have a jam-packed show with all these games this week. We have Jake, your game versus Lemons, Mr. 4th place. I see, that's funny.
Yeah, he changed the name. Yeah.
Poor dude. Never finished above 4th place ever in this league. And I'm pretty sure Mike's been in this league since the 2nd year, right? So since 2011.
Dang.
So
He's had. I think I was looking back, and he's had that highest scoring team in a 4 or 5 years too.
Jeez. He's definitely had some good years, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, unlucky is the only way I can describe that. Just like how I might describe his fantasy team this week. Patrick Mahomes just did what he's been doing all year. Stink. I mean,
Yep.
shoot. The Chiefs just, for the most part, win games. They've lost more than they'd probably like to, but they won the division, and beat the Bengals, but they didn't need Mahomes to do it. 12 points this week, 1 touchdown. I don't know what to say. 245 yards is a pretty good number of yards. For Mahomes, obviously you want more. And Lemons is going to be... Am I right? Did he say that he's never going to have Mahomes on his team again in the group chat? I want to say I heard him say that.
That sounds right. Yeah, I think he did.
So,
I can respect that.
yeah, what else do you do,
Tough
right?
to blame him.
Yeah. Everybody gets burned by a guy, and I know Kareem Hunt will never be on my team. So, not that Mahomes has burned him like Kareem Hunt has, but he's been doing it all year, every single week. Just it's got to eat at a guy to have someone.
Yeah.
Where was Mahomes drafted? 2nd or 3rd round, 4th round. He's 40th overall. So that's the last pick of the 4th. If I know my numbers. So tough. Godwin had a good week. The only reason Godwin was in his lineup is because Sutton was ruled out. So, Jake, if Sutton was playing, you would have lost this game. Tyreek Hill had a terrible game for his standards.
He dropped a couple too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I saw
Should
that.
have had a better game. Yeah.
Miami got blown out, man. It wasn't even close, which really hurt Brianna's feelings. So I'm going to need an apology for Mr. Tyreek Hill, because in our family pick'em pool, Brianna was up 1 point on Brandon. He's going to love that I'm talking about this. Brandon was down 1 point to Brianna. They're fighting for the number 1 spot, and they've only got this upcoming week to go. And Brianna picked Miami to win. Pretty ballsy. A couple picks went Brandon's way, and now he's up 2.
Nice.
Tough. So, yeah, Tyreek Hill, your check's in the mail from Brandon. Alvin Kamara, terrible game. Looks like he picked up an ankle sprain. I don't know how early that was. I'm not going to lie. I didn't catch a ton of football this past week because I had the stomach flu and I was mostly sleeping. Saquon, bad game. The Giants stink, dude. I don't know what else to say. Man had 39 rush yards, 3 catches, but 19 yards. It's not what you want from Saquon Barkley, especially for the Giants. 12 carries.
Yeah, Yeah, 12 is not good. That's not good.
Hey, 25 points though. Rams have been cooking a little bit towards the end of the year here.
Yeah, they're going to be scary for whoever sees them in the playoffs.
They're gonna be the Lions. What are the Rams gonna be? The
It
4 seed?
is.
Win the division.
They're going to be the 6.
6. Yeah,
They're gonna,
so it'll
yeah,
be.
Yeah.
they're gonna be the 6. They've got the 49ers this week who don't have to win, but I think they're still gonna
Yeah.
start most of their
You would think
players.
so.
I'd have to look again, but I think there's a chance that if the Packers win and the 49ers beat the Rams, I thought there was a chance that it would switch around, but maybe that's not true.
Interesting.
In which case, the Packers would then go to the 6 and play Detroit.
That would be really fun. So I kind of hope that happens.
I think that's the case. It's verified, but
Yeah. If you want to verify, that'd be good. The ESPN playoff machine is the goat. I don't know why. I'm sure there are plenty of them out there, but that one just it's different for me. Dalton Kincaid had a good game. He was awesome this year. So Kincaid, honestly, might be a keeper for Mike. 8th round pick. Might be a keeper. We'll see. Pretty early. Zeke, good game. Zeke was a really good pickup for fantasy late in the year, man. Zeke
Yeah, he
put up.
played awesome the last few weeks.
Yeah, with Ramondre out, he's been a stud. I mean, bad game against the Chiefs, but what are you gonna do with Zeke, dude? You're starting him in the flex. You're not mad about 9.6. So overall, just he didn't get it from his guys, right? And we kind of talked about that going into this game, right, Jake? I mean, Lemons' team is pretty volatile, but he's got some scary names, and if those names put up,
oh yeah,
you're in danger, and they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, to give more context, last week in the Dynasty League, I also matched up with Lemons, and that's a half PPR league, and he put up 200 plus on me with 7.5 PPR league, and so he just went off. Like, I guess this kind of balanced it out, but yeah, I was pretty intimidated by these names, and I mean, Saturday when the Cowboys played, I got off to a really hot start with a Dak CD stack that, I mean, I had planned all along to, this week would need to be a big week from those two, and they did deliver. Stephon Diggs and Eckler both struggled as they have been in the second half of the season, which kind of sucks thinking about keepers next year, honestly. But yeah, they had been really good going into the season in the second half. I don't know what to say about them, but Mixon, who I traded for, also was put to use pretty well. Almost got 20 points this week. I had looked at Ty Chandler or Zamir White. It was obviously that Josh Jacobs was out that I put Zamir White in there.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. I think Madison was going to be out or going to be in the whole time. Last week it was close that he wasn't going to play.
Yeah, it seemed pretty likely. You're right.
Yeah, and then I think the only other move I did was sub back George Kittle in for McBride. Didn't really make a difference, but nothing too fancy. I mean, I kind of wanted to do a play for Jaden Reed, but once Josh Jacobs was out, it was pretty easy to just throw Zamir White in the flex. Is worth it.
I totally agree. He was the right start. Although it does make me happy that we talked about throwing Jaden Reed in last week, and he had just a massive game before getting injured at it was like halftime or something, wasn't it? When he got knocked out.
It was halftime. And I sent that screenshot to you from my other league that I lost by 0.14 when Jaden Reed went out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Come back into the game. So
that is tough.
That's a tough loss in the championship.
No stat correction on that one.
No stat correction, unfortunately. But yeah, this was a good week, and luckily in the championship that we're gonna preview here in a sec, or recap in a sec, I don't need to be like, damn, if I would have made the championship, I would have won, because that wouldn't have been the case.
Yeah.
But either way, my team did really well this week, so it's happy
that's good
to get the trophy and make sure Lemon still hasn't gotten a trophy in this league.
Heck yeah, baby. That's hilarious.
We're getting a medal, top 3, getting a podium.
Yeah, on the podium. Yep. I think Yahoo does give out a Browns trophy, so we weren't wrong. The only thing I want to ask you, Jake, is how did you feel Thursday when Jerome Ford had 28 points on Lemons' bench?
Felt great. I didn't even remember that he had Jerome Ford until I looked back on Saturday.
Oh man.
But yeah, first of all, when Lemons was on last time, we talked about how Zeke really was a huge pickup on the second half of the season. with the caveat that he probably won't be started on Lemons' roster. Now with Raheem Mostert being out, he actually was able to be started. But yeah, that makes it even harder to put a guy like Jerome Ford in. Like there was no way he's gonna actually be started, but
Oh,
doesn't look good on the bench.
yeah, it's got to feel bad. It was probably the right call to bench him, but at the same time, it would have felt really, really bad for you, Jake, if Thursday if Ford would have been sitting in there, not in the flex because he played on Thursday, right?
Yeah.
But if he would have been in Lemons' lineup on Thursday, I know for a fact he would have been sweating.
Oh yeah, I would have for sure.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, well, hey, congrats to you, Jake, on third place. That's I think I'd
Appreciate
call
it.
that a dub for you. You know, best record in the league. You know, you got to be happy with third place. You suck, dude.
No, absolutely not a dub. Absolutely not. Not with the moves I was making late in the season. But you know what? I wish I could say I'll be back next year. We'll see what happens. This is gonna be an interesting off season for me. Maybe
Oh yeah,
we'll see.
It is. You got a lot of options for keepers.
I do.
there we go. All right, well, how about we bounce on over to what matters, huh? The championship game. Nick, holy shit, dude, 182. You didn't even give Greg a chance to hope.
I know. I had a couple players pull through Adams after putting up one catch for 4 yards last week.
Yeah, no kidding.
Balled out this week.
The squeaky wheel treatment, right?
Yeah, right.
13 catches. Holy wow. 2 touchdowns. And the Raiders still lost. Also a pick Brianna made wrong. Tough. DJ Moore had a big game too. I thought he had 2 touchdowns. Guess not. Oh no, he just had a bunch of big plays I was getting notifications on.
Yeah. Yep.
Bunch of chunk yards. Him and I don't know what it is, but him and Justin Fields just work, man. Maybe it's the fact that Justin Fields isn't a terrible quarterback and DJ Moore is the only good wide receiver on that team. But yeah, I don't know.
That probably has something to do with it, yeah.
Yeah, you would think that, right? Jalen Hurts had a fine game. 3 touchdowns, can't argue with that. Not much more. Only 167 yards, and they lost.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky that they invented the brotherly shove because the offense in general has not played very well.
Jeez, that play, dude. A lot of people. So actually, I want to hear you guys' thoughts on the brotherly shove because a lot of people hate it and think it should be banned. What are we feeling here?
I do I hate it from just from a fan perspective. Like I don't think it's fun to watch, but it's tough to ban it, I think.
Yep, I agree with that. I guess I sit on the side of the way the Eagles seem like they're the only team that can do it, and I don't know what it is, and I don't think anybody knows what it is. Well, maybe it's just Jason Kelce, but
it's Kelce, it's Hurts, and it's their O-line coach, Jeff Stoutland.
Right, so it's like, I mean, it seems like they built their team to be able to do it. And the fact that nobody else can do it means that it's not like it's some sort of cheat code where it always works for everybody, right? Because if that were the case, then everybody could do it. And if that were the case, then I would be okay with trying to ban it somehow, right? But I mean,
yeah, I've been thinking about this a decent amount over the last couple of weeks. I feel like, well, over the course of the season, and I haven't really made up my mind completely. But I think I'm slightly toward I don't think it should be banned since it's only one team, like you said, that's really been able to do it a lot. And
seems like they're good at it.
I mean, it is funny to watch because every time I see the Eagles, like if it's 2nd and 1, like will they do it on 2nd down? Will they do it on 3rd down? Like what's like they can just plan differently around knowing that they're going to get that 1st down no matter what off of that play, which kind of sucks if you're on defense. You're playing the Eagles, like you just know. On 3rd and 1, like they're going to go for it and they're going to get it either way, so they can do whatever they want.
It has to be so demoralizing.
Yeah. So that part sucks, but at the same time, I mean, you'd think there are other cheat codes around the league, like maybe not this year, but like the Chiefs on the goal line any other year. I feel like I'd feel the same way. Like you got no chance stopping them. Like Andy Reid's gonna throw something out there, like some shovel pass to Kelce or something weird. Like there's been cheat codes like that. This one's a little bit different, but I don't know if you can ban it yet.
Yeah, you just gotta let it happen, man. Don't let them get there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Don't let them just 3rd and 4th and short.
One thing that I think is best said by Mr. Trump is,
I think Joe Flacco is actually a very elite quarterback.
The guy's a stud, man. We talked about
Yeah.
this, and you know what? I don't blame Greg for starting Stroud. And Jake, I don't know if you know this yet. I talked to Greg because I gave him a little bit of a hard time originally because we talked on the show last week. It was you, me, and was it Lemons? Was it?
No, it wasn't Lemons.
It was
Oh my
Hoffman
God.
last week, right?
Oh yeah,
Hoffman,
it
yeah, it
was
was Hoffman. I
That's
knew
right.
it wasn't Lemons.
Yeah.
It was Hoffman, yeah.
So it was you, me, and Hoffman last week, and we were talking about how Joe Flacco should be in the lineup. And I saw I got really excited for Greg on Thursday when I started seeing all these touchdowns from Joe Flacco. I was like, dude, that is awesome for Greg because I was kind of hyped. And then I saw that Joe Flacco's on the bench, and I had to talk to Greg. I was like, dude, what are you doing, man? We told you to start Joe Flacco. And I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have done the same thing as Greg. But what he told me was he had Flacco in his lineup for a little bit after the show. And then he switched Stroud into the lineup when Amari Cooper got ruled out, which I honestly don't blame the guy for because the Jets defense has been pretty stingy this year against the pass. And Amari Cooper's the only guys seemingly on the Browns that can really catch football besides, Greg's tight end, David Njoku, had a great game because I would assume Amari Cooper was out. So kudos for the Njoku play, but yeah, Stroud wasn't it, man. Tough.
Greg, had you have taken a look back at that 50-point game a couple of weeks ago and just been like, it's worth a chance.
I
It's worth a
understand.
chance.
Yeah. I get it. Week 9.
Yeah, I would have done
Greg.
the same thing, I think.
It's a tough call to make. Joe Flacco starting in your lineup in 2023, 2024. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to win the championship with Joe Flacco.
Right.
Well, I mean, I would love to win it if you're gonna tell me I'm gonna win, I guess. And Jamar Chase got
to make
benched.
that bet.
I'm just gonna say it. Jamar Chase got benched, and I mean, it worked out, so I'm no comment.
I think it's hilarious that Greg's season ended with him benching Jamar Chase and it worked out.
I believe he told me that he realized he wasn't gonna win, so he did it. So.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Actually,
yeah.
What would have been really funny is if Jamar Chase would have had like 60 points. He would have won the game or something.
Did he put in Swift, or when did Swift play?
I don't know.
When did the Eagles play?
He did put in Swift.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, that's funny. So Nick, I mean, there was never really a doubt here, huh?
No. Once I realized that Flacco wasn't in after the Thursday night game, I felt extremely confident that I was gonna come out on top.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Looks like so. It looks like you might have sweat a little bit on Thursday when Njoku had 20 points, but I mean, probably pretty short-lived.
I mean, all in the first quarter too. So I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, I suppose that can get a little. Yeah.
Okay, you know what's funny?
What's
Ryan?
up?
I just looked. I had to just reference it. Nick Mullins was close to outscoring Stroud, having not started the game. He was close.
Thank you.
He got over 10. I had to check. He got over 10.
That's hilarious.
I mean, I know the Packers defense played really well, and mostly it was just blitzing an inexperienced quarterback.
Yeah,
I think that was pretty much it. Really, just blitzed him, and he couldn't do anything. But I'm like 95% sure Nick Mullins, if he started the whole game, would have gotten like 20 plus. Maybe not 95%, but he would have done better. Like he got into the game, and Justin Jefferson found the ball like 5 times after that. So
that's true.
What are you thinking about that, Nick? Would it have been better with Nick Mullins? I think so.
It had to have been, right?
It might have been a little better. I don't know about how much better it would have been. But.
That I agree with. It seems like Joe Barry actually called a good game, which is kind of funny. Maybe he does want to keep his job.
He's gonna keep it playing the Bears, like getting into the playoffs, and then
the Bears are gonna knock us
next
out
year.
As a fan of a rival NFC North team, I really hope he's done enough to keep his job next year.
I think if he made the playoffs, he's not going to get fired. I really do.
I don't think he's back, dude. Chris Collinsworth was talking about it, and Chris Collinsworth doesn't know shit.
Going back to Devontae, I think I had him out of my lineup for about 10 minutes in a different league. I really thought about it. Granted, I had a couple of good options to throw in there. But yeah, I'm so glad it didn't. He just went off.
Funny. Yeah, I mean, this is a complete performance from your team, Nick. I mean, okay, so Travis Kelce stunk, right? But that's okay.
As he
Everybody
has
else
all
was
year.
great. Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Everybody, I mean, Buffalo's defense, awesome. Defensive touchdown. Was that a pick six? Must have been. 3 picks, 3 sacks, and a tutty. Aubrey,
Yep.
pretty darn good. Puka, awesome. Montgomery, fine. 12 and a half. I'll take it. McCaffrey got hurt.
What he gets every week,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes. So
guess
McCaffrey
I'd-
stung a bit, I guess, but I mean, who cares? Devonta Adams and DJ Moore
Yeah.
combined for 75 points.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts did what he had to do. It
How are you
was
feeling
good.
about Kelsey as a potential keeper next year?
Ooh.
I've been thinking about it. I think with the second round price tag, it might be tough to keep him for another year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see where his ADP is, but yeah, it's probably gonna be second round, huh?
Yep, and especially if Devontae gets traded, he's going to be tough to not keep, I think.
They're in the first round. Yeah. If he gets traded.
I mean, this year, I don't have his stats to back this up, but it felt like tight ends were back around the league. Like anybody could,
They were,
you
man.
get like pretty serviceable. Like Laporte, obviously, Kittle bounced back this year.
Yep.
There were some
Overall-
stats on Twitter about that earlier in the year, like halfway through the year. It was like people were talking about how the number 7 tight end is a lot closer to the top tight ends than it usually is. Usually it's like a crazy disparity between number 1 and number 8 or whatever. And now this year it's like, all right, hey, it's not that bad.
I think Kelsey's going to be 36 next year, so
Yeah, he's an old dude, man.
yeah.
Maybe he'll just retire and go hang out with T Swift. That'd be kind of fun, huh?
Yeah, we couldn't blame him.
Must be nice.
Yeah. Must be nice.
So, Greg's team laid a goose. I mean, Jacksonville's defense put up and shut out Carolina's. Did you guys see the owner / chairman or whatever you want to
I
call
did.
him of the Panthers like throw
a drink. Yeah.
threw a drink at the fan? That was so funny. Oh
Yeah,
man.
that was awesome.
The only other thing I want to say about Greg's team is Kyron Williams was a freaking stud this year, man. And
Yep.
he was not drafted, which means he's going to be on the wire next year and quite possibly a first-round pick.
I was about to say him versus Puka, top 2 pickups of the year, probably.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else would
Going
would
at
be,
it in the
but-
championship.
Yep. Same team, which
I
is
don't
wild.
remember this, but I was shocked that I picked up Puka for 0 fab.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
he had
right,
a
you did.
big game week 1, and everyone was like thinking it wasn't gonna.
Yep.
Like it was a
Yeah.
fluke, especially with Cooper Kupp was out at the time too.
That
Like,
was what I was thinking. I was like, once Cooper Kupp is back, Puka's going to be irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, outrageous. All right, well, congratulations again, B. This is
Thank you.
incredible.
yes,
achievement.
congrats.
Thank you.
It's not every year that someone wins the primetime fantasy football league, unless you're apparently Nick B or Jake Jorgensen, in which case then it happens perennially.
What I can say is that the last time I won, it's been a while now. I'm pretty sure it was Christian McCaffrey, and then I think I got rid of him the next year. And why did I get rid of Christian McCaffrey? Should have just kept Christian McCaffrey. He didn't go off this week,
'cause-
but
Well, do you remember what the trade was that we made?
no.
It was McCaffrey and Kelsey for Diggs.
Was AJ Saquon?
No,
Keenan Allen in that? I don't even remember. Like I can't remember it at
I don't
all.
remember.
I can't. I know I got McCaffrey and Kelsey from you.
That hurts.
Pretty sure I
that hurts
did.
already.
Do you remember what year that
Yeah.
is?
That would have been 3 years ago.
Maybe I'll.
Whenever he
got-
maybe I'll find
Whenever he was out for the season was probably when I traded him. I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
21 or something.
Yeah.
Might be able to find that. Maybe.
This was my second year with both of them, I think. Would have been.
Oh yeah, here it is. Jake
Okay.
traded CMC, Hopkins, and his 15th to Brinkman for Diggs, Dobbins, and a 6th.
Dobbins. Oh,
J.K.
man.
Dobbins.
Dobbins. Oh, I was looking at Dobbins. Yeah, that's tough. No, back the glory days. It was. I think I had the first overall pick one year, and I had Actually, you know what? I think I traded Saquon. No, Preston had Saquon. I know I drafted McCaffrey. Like nobody kept him at the time. It was like a 3rd round pick. I don't know what year this was a long time ago.
This
But I
is
drafted him, and then I
2021.
traded for Saquon right after his rookie year. Probably had like 1 to 2 max years of Saquon before the injury started. But yeah, I think it was McCaffrey, Saquon, Hopkins were the keepers for like it was like a back to back. Like that was insane for those 2 years though.
That's awesome.
Oh,
All right. Top
J.K.
players of the week.
Dobbins.
J.K. freaking Dobbins.
Damn it.
Yeah, no kidding,
that's why I
man.
don't remember that trade.
Tore his Achilles, and now it's all over.
Ugh.
Until the hype train this week, and I'm going to trade him in Dynasty. Jake, you interested?
Let's think about those running backs have been buying in on J.K. Dobbins, Clyde
Cam
Edwards-Helaire,
Akers.
Javonte Williams, Cam Akers in both leagues. Like everyone's just getting injured. All of them.
Remind me never to have somebody in a
Yeah.
league that you have him in,
Don't do
Jake.
that. Yeah, don't draft my running backs. Don't do it.
Best players for the playoffs, championship week. At quarterback, it's the one and only.
I think Joe Flacco is actually a very elite quarterback.
30.66 on Greg's bench, Joe Flacco. Greg surprisingly had a ton of players. This list is dominated by Greg and Jake. And Greg did not win. It's funny because Greg didn't even come close to winning. His team didn't really do that well, but Kyron Williams 30 points as well. Jake CeeDee Lamb 47.2. Greg David Njoku 20.4. Jake Cairo Santos 15 points, and then back to Greg for Jacksonville's defense 21 points. So pretty much everybody that had over 10 points on Greg, anybody that had over 15 points on Greg's team was a top scorer. Poor guy. Oh man. So I mean that does it for best players. That does it for the rewinds on the 2 matchups. The only thing that I guess I wanted to do is go over real quick record book that Yahoo keeps. I'm still not done with the spreadsheet version that I've been working on. It hopefully will be done before the start of the upcoming season, and then I'll do a separate episode where I'll kind of walk through it and I'll share it with people and they can kind of poke around in it if they're interested. But for the time being, we have record for the most wins this season. Nick, you and Jake tied at 12 wins this year total. Most of all time is LK. We will trombone you in 2017 with 14. I believe that was the Antonio Brown years.
Antonio Brown, I think Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm seeing Michael Thomas, Travis Kelce, Marshawn Lynch, Todd Gurley, Antonio Brown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Todd Gurley.
Yeah, it's
no Bell. Okay.
Marshawn Gurley, AB, Kelce, Michael Thomas.
Jesus.
And Russell Wilson was really good back then too. Fair enough to Lane. That was a hell of a team, that year. And the following year with Code Brown. Longest win streak this year, you guys again. B and Jake, 7 in a row.
7.
Lane holds the all-time with 11. 2018.
Jeez.
Might be the one you're thinking. Michael Thomas, Antonio Brown, Kelce, Gurley, Jones.
Yeah, that was it.
Aaron Jones.
Most of them.
Patrick Mahomes. I think that was Mahomes' 2018. Is that his first year or second year?
That would have been his second year in the league, but his
Yeah.
first year starting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good pickup from Lane there. Or that might have been even a draft pick. Let's see what else we got. Losses. Most losses. Yeah, tough. This stat is heavily modified on my spreadsheet because back in the day, some teams would start lineups. Back when we were in like elementary school. Shit. Largest margin of victory this year. Oh, come on, man. This ain't fair. It's Jake versus me, week 8, 97 points margin of victory. All time, I believe this was a matchup where Trent didn't set a lineup and Lane had like 200
Yeah,
points.
that's tough.
Yeah, you can't get much better than that.
191.
I know. Average margin of victory win though is you, Nick. Almost an average of almost 43 points per game for all of your wins.
Oh, my team was well-rounded here. Look at the next one.
Yeah,
Smallest margin of victory.
Average all-time Lemons 2012, 64.7. Still didn't finish top 3. All right, let's see.
Boom. Roasted.
Smallest margin of victory. Good to see that, Jake, against Brandon. Yeah, one of the worst teams in the league. 1.58. There you go.
Boom.
Dub over Josh. Is that Jake or George? I
Is
mean,
that George?
Yeah, that is George.
Yeah.
Mhm.
George 2016 versus you, Nick B. 0.06. That's outrageous. All-time average smallest margin of victory. Also owned. Oh, this one is owned by Josh. 1.08 average margin of victory. That's incredible.
tough. Yeah.
He must not have won very many games.
Yeah, I
he
was
won
about to
one
say,
game.
probably
Yep,
didn't-
that makes sense.
Okay.
Manthai average this year was 24.76, which is respectable. Also didn't win very many games. I'm seeing a trend on that side. Largest margin of defeat, me. Yeah, we talked about this. Fuck off. The toughest strength of schedule, Manthai, averaging 134 points against on average. And all time, it was George last year, averaging 141 points against, which is actually an outrageous points against total. So, dang. 2 weeks in a row of George being screwed. Didn't George have a really good year that year, though? Oh, that's Brandon. Daddy. That's right. I forgot about that. He changed his team name to Daddy. He won the league last year, so yeah, good for you, man. Impressive, honestly. And the easiest strength of schedule was Mr. Fourth Place, Lemons, averaging just shy of 120 points against. And all time, it was me, 2013, 108. So let's go, baby. Didn't win the league. There's a couple more categories. We'll scroll through quick. Most team points in a single week. Nick, this year, just shy of 200. Week 4.
Yeah.
All time, Hoffy owns it versus Josh in 2014, 253. It's actually,
2018, baby. Don't forget about 2018.
yeah,
Let's go.
that team was nasty.
Oh, yeah. Let me see that team one more
2000.
time. You got to pull that up every
I'll
year,
pull
Brian.
it
You
up.
got to pull that up.
This guy.
I got
Drew
to see that
Brees,
team.
Tyreek, Hopkins, McCaffrey. Oh, he had the
Oh.
Bellagio last week, I see. I'll give you the week 1 roster. Nah, screw that. How did it end? It's really not that good, Jake. I don't know why you're nutting over it.
It's really ass. This team sucks.
Prime Zach Ertz, if there was ever such a thing.
Big Ben.
Nick averaged just shy of 150 points per game this year, which is absolutely outrageous, and I can't believe that didn't top you, Jake. That was a special
I know.
team.
I was
man.
looking back because I was thinking there's no way I don't have the all-time points record, and I was shocked to see that it came from a 16-game season too.
That is pretty outrageous, I'm not going to lie.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Wow.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Huh.
Fewest points in a single week, Manthai, 60 points. All time, I believe the actual all-time owner of this record is Lane. It's either Lane or George. Shoot.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Lane. It's like 50 points. It's really low.
Yikes.
George got close to it, though, this year, too. On average, Manthai, dude just averaged 106 points per week. All-time Brandon. Whoa, what?
This year.
Wait, what? That doesn't
What?
make any sense. Brandon,
Wait.
Yahoo's tweaking. 92 points all time. All right, Yahoo's doing some funny shit. All right, this is not true. Because if Brandon would have been the lowest, he would have been the lowest here.
Yeah.
I noticed that about a couple of the records on here when I was doing my review for my spreadsheet. I was like, wait, that's just wrong. So then I had to scrape the entirety of Yahoo's site to figure out what it really is.
Team.
Most
But wait.
offensive. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, never mind. That is so weird that it shows 92. Not even like it's not season average. All like wait.
Nope. That's total.
That's weird.
Yep, Yahoo's tweaking. It's all right. Most offensive points, right? So this doesn't include kicker or defense, I believe. Still Nick B. Still cooking. All time, still Jake. I guess that doesn't change much, huh? Fewest offensive points. The team that was never 100%. George. 53.66 if you don't count his kicker defense. That's pretty close to Lane's record if I remember correctly. Kicking most points in a single week. Also, George. Yeah, shut up, George, dude. That's just pure luck. All time. Ooh, George almost took that. Nick, I think this is you. Hassel. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Yep.
Back in the day. You had
Mhm.
Blair. Oh, you had two kickers. Blair Walsh and Steven Gostkowski.
Gostkowski.
Oh, no, week 15. I wonder if we can find that. It was probably Gostkowski. He was East. Oh, it was Blair Walsh. 25
Blair
points.
Walsh.
The
Yeah.
Vikings legend, right? I remember correctly.
Yep. Yes.
Oh my God, he had 3 50-plus yarders, a 40, and a 30.
Yeah,
Okay, fair
his
enough.
his rookie year, he was like 12 of 12 from 50 yards plus or something.
Jeez.
Crazy.
Stud. Fewest kicking points in a single week. Looks like Cade and Lane, the brotherly love here, tying for -2. All time, Lemons owns this record, -6. I believe that's 2 missed extra points and nothing else in 2022, which is hilarious. Season average.
But the Cowboys kicker when he was toward the end of the season, I'm trying to think. Didn't the Cowboys have a kicker that missed PATs like all the time at the end of the season last year that they got rid of?
Was that Maher?
Oh, Brett
Folk.
Maher. No, Folk. This was
Was it
against
Maher?
Dallas in this one. Brett Maher did play for Dallas, and I'm sure he got cut because he's not there anymore. So that would make sense. That might be a good question for Lemons. He might know that if he's a true fan. I see the all-time is broken on this one too. So Greg, don't be ashamed. Defensive point, most defensive points in a single week, dude. 38, Cade. Holy shit.
What?
Nick had 41,
Get the-
2012.
who- I
Was
wonder
it
who
Cowboys?
yeah.
Oh,
Week
the old one.
14 in 2012.
I'm guessing Niners. Oh, I should have guessed.
I'm gonna guess
Seahawks when I made
Bears. Seattle. Oh, what's Seattle? Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
mine. I knew I was gonna go Seattle.
41.
Damn
2
it. Legion of Boom.
touchdowns, 4 fumble recoveries, 4 picks, and 3 sacks.
Yeah, it's Legion of Boom.
Holy
Man,
shit.
yeah.
Whoever they played against, Yahoo doesn't have that information, but whoever they played against that week, holy balls. Season average, Nick, you led the league this year in most defensive points, averaging almost 12 points per week in defense. That's nice. All time, Jake, you own that. That must have been Patriots year?
That feels before Patriots year. Oh, actually, maybe that was. Think about Manthai had the Patriots in Dynasty when they
Yeah,
started
there it
Dynasty.
is.
Was that
New
4
England.
years ago? New England. Yeah, they did have a team.
That team was insane, dude. They averaged like 20 points a week for a long time. They were like the RB6 on that year or something stupid like
Yeah,
that. Fewest defensive points in a single week. Greg, this one's probably real. -2.5. John Reckner owns it for all time with -4, which I believe is the fewest you can possibly get. Average lowest is this is broken too.
Broken.
Yahoo's having
They're
a
all
terrible time.
broken.
But that's okay, because the season average is correct, and that is really low. Less than 8 points a game for Mr. Lemons, Mr. Fourth place. Most points from
Extreme,
draft
Or
players.
did he stick with one?
That's a
team for-
good question. He had Philly, so he probably stuck with
He
them. Huh?
probably stuck
Yeah.
with Philly.
He had New England for week 10. Oh, so he rocked with New England for a while, it looks like. Washington, so he streamed a bit.
I guess he was.
Yeah.
Let's see. So there's players from the draft, which I honestly don't really care about. But hey, Cade, looks like most of his players from his draft put up a lot of points. And
Mhm.
all time, Manthai owns it because Manthai can't make trades with anybody because he values his players too high. Where's the boom roasted button when you need
Boom.
it?
Roasted.
There it is. All right, let's see. Let's head over to team statistics. This is always a fun one. Most touchdowns in a single week. 4-way tie. 10. All time. Screw you, Jake. You run this league, dude. Nick B, season average, dude. You owned it. Over 6 per week.
Mhm.
All time. LK. Fewest. Well, that makes sense. Rip Manthai. All time.
Mhm.
Tough. All time one's kind of fake. But season average. Wow, you averaged like almost double Preston's touchdowns every single week. That's incredible. Most passing yards
I'm-
on average. Ooh, yeah, go ahead.
I'm glad Preston has a couple picks coming up in the next draft because this he
Got a
might have
bunch of
fielded
them.
one of the all-time worst fantasy teams. This
It
year.
was horrendous.
It was bad.
Yeah,
I cannot wait to see how it stacks up against the people on the record book. So I'm excited for that. I'm gonna have to get back onto working on that seriously.
Didn't
most-
help when he got rid of CD.
No, it did
Definitely
not.
did not help.
yeah.
That was strategic.
It was.
Mhm.
I led the single week most passing yards, 470 in week 9, which must have been CJ Stroud having that big week. Yeah, 53 points. Coffee owns it all time, 517 yards in week 1 of 2011 against me. That would have been Tom Brady, I'm guessing. Yeah, Tom Brady. Well, he only had 36 points and he put up 500 something yards. Must not have had the touchdowns. Average leader, Lemons, with Mahomes. So, hey, go figure. You know, Mahomes led the fantasy league in yards. And all-time average laner. Fewest, a lot of zeros.
It's broken for sure,
Yeah.
I would think. Yes, all season.
Heck yeah, baby. Most rush yards. Ooh, another me. Nope, this is Greg. 332 yards. Oh. There we go, though. There's me. All-time 470. I believe this is the Arian Foster days. I think I had LaShawn McCoy and Arian Foster. Yeah, those guys were awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. All-time that same year. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Oh my God, that was ridiculous. Fewest rush yards. 12 rush yards. That might be real. George had 12 rush yards in week. In week 15, he probably didn't start his lineup. This is first round of the playoffs. Oh, back. Yeah, so Josh Jacobs didn't play. Receiving yards most. Jake, 540 week 3. Heck yeah, dude.
Dang.
That was back when Diggs and Allen were,
Helps
actually
when you
playing.
start winning your flex. Jaden Reed too.
Mhm.
Single week all time, Hoffman 607 week 8.
Jeez.
Megatron, AJ Green, Golden Taint. Good to see Jake there. Far from perfect. And Nick B led it on average. 331 on average. Probably started a receiver in your flex quite a bit. Puka, I would imagine.
I think every single week, yeah.
Yep, that makes sense. Most field goals in a single week, 6 from George and Laner. Tied the all-time record with Lemons. And on average, Jake, you, and George averaged almost 2 field goals a week, which I guess is impressive. And I guess I own this record. I own
yep,
the luckiest
so
kicker
you.
award. Yeah, I kicked your guys' asses. Least field goals, 0. Yeah, I mean that just makes sense. And that's it. So, all right, everybody. I want to thank everyone for a fantastic fantasy football season. I will be sending out money shortly. I gotta pass some stuff around for you guys. Nick B, congratulations again, dude.
Thank you.
Excellent
Yep,
season.
congrats.
Yep, and
Thank you,
congrats
Jake.
to Greg on second place too. You know, it's better than Jake. So
It is.
congrats on
It
losing,
is.
Greg. I guess that's all I got for everybody. So hopefully sometime in the off season I'll have a little video out going over the record book and all that jazz. That could be kind of cool. But other than that, I'll see you guys come draft time, huh?
All right, sounds good.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next year.